Okay, let's get into it. We're doing a deep dive today into, well, what really looks like the future of education.
It really does.
We're talking about the massive platform update for EON Reality's learning environment, EON-XR 11.3.
And this isn't just, a minor maintenance release. This is a fundamental change.
It seems like it. The sources we've looked at suggest this is the cutting edge of how AI is just completely changing immersive learning.
It absolutely is. I mean, we're looking at a comprehensive architectural shift. They're merging virtual and augmented reality learning. They're baking in this really advanced AI. And the promise is, well, it's experiential training that's faster, smarter, and way more unified than before.
Yeah, unified is the word that keeps popping up. We're seeing things like next-gen virtual campuses that basically create themselves.
Which is mind-blowing.
Right, and then there are these huge upgrades to soft skills, training speed, reliability, and some serious muscle added to the back end. It's a lot to unpack.
It is. So I think our mission here, especially for you, the listener who's trying to stay ahead of this curve, is to really extract the core insights. We need to figure out exactly how AI is automating these entire learning ecosystems.
The good, the bad, the fast.
Exactly. And what all this speed and quality means for your own ability to, pick up advanced skills quickly. We're looking for the absolute shortest path to expertise that this tech is opening up.
And I think if we had to boil it all down to one core idea, one thesis for today, it's that EON-XR 11.3 is being positioned as a major step toward a unified intelligent learning ecosystem.
That's a bold claim.
A very bold claim, but looking at the features, it seems like they might actually be delivering on that promise of unification.
So where do we start? The big picture.
Let's start there with that whole philosophy. The vision from Dan Lajuskar, the chairman of EON Reality, is all about democratization.
Right.
The core goal, and this is a quote, is to democratize advanced knowledge and make immersive learning accessible for everyone.
Which means taking this complex training out of, say, just a high-end corporate setting and bringing it to a mass scale.
Exactly. And if you're going for mass scale, you have to get rid of complexity. You have to lower the barrier to entry.
And that's where this whole unified access thing becomes so critical. Because before this, you might have felt like you were juggling a bunch of different tools.
Bouncing between different modules, different logins.
Yeah, exactly. The sources confirm this is now a completely seamless experience. You sign in once, you hit a single landing page, and boom, everything is right there.
Your custom virtual campus, the CVC, the general one, the GVC, all the EON-XR tools.
The career compass, the enterprise guide, it's all in one spot.
Okay, so that's a convenience thing, but what's the deeper significance there for the learner?
Well, it's more than just convenience. It's about cognitive load. I mean, think about it. If you're trying to learn a really complex new process, maybe for your job, and you have to spend the first 5 minutes just figuring out which app to launch or where the assessment is, that's friction. That's wasted energy that pulls you out of the learning state.
So by just streamlining all that admin stuff, you're actually accelerating the learning itself.
You are. You're letting the learner focus purely on the content, on the skill they're trying to acquire, not on fighting with the platform's mechanics.
It makes the platform feel like one single powerful resource, not just a box of different tools.
Precisely. If knowledge transfer is the product, then friction is the enemy. It's a direct line back to that goal of democratization.
Okay, so if that unified access reduces friction for the user, then that brings us to the next big piece, which is reducing the friction for the creator.
And this is where the automation gets really, really interesting. This is the custom virtual campus part.
This update to the CVC feels like the most dramatic time-saving feature in the entire release.
I'd agree. I mean, just picture it. An instructor, a content creator, can now generate an entire virtual campus.
The whole thing.
The whole thing. Programs, courses, immersive lessons, quizzes, even oral interview simulations. All of it from a single source document.
The sources even say sometimes all you need is a title and a description.
Which is just, that's the breakthrough, right?
Yeah.
We're not talking about making one 3D model. We're talking about the AI generating the entire curriculum structure instantly. The sources say this dramatically reduces the time required to produce structured learning experiences.
The time saving is just. It's astronomical. You go from a curriculum designer spending weeks, maybe months, mapping lessons and importing assets,
to the AI handling that whole architecture in a flash.
But, okay, that brings up the big question. What about quality? If it's created that fast, is it just a superficial shell?
And that's the critical question to ask. But the power here isn't just the speed, it's the structure it creates. The AI is essentially building the scaffolding.
Okay.
It handles the organization, the basic content layout, the assessment types. What that does is it frees up the human expert to focus their time on what really matters.
Which is the quality of the input.
Exactly. Curating the source document and then fine-tuning the AI's output. It shifts the job from tedious content creation to high-level content curation.
So your job becomes quality control, making sure the knowledge you feed the AI is top-notch and targeted.
Precisely. And think about what that means for rapid deployment. Let's say there's a huge policy change at your company or a new safety procedure.
You don't have weeks to build the training.
You don't. Now you feed the new manual into the CVC, and the immersive training is ready to go almost immediately. That kind of responsiveness is a complete game changer.
And it's not just the custom campus, right? The general virtual campus, the GVC, also got an upgrade.
It did. It's been fully modernized so it works seamlessly with everything else. All those general courses on, say, basic physics or whatever, they now fully support the new assessment tools, the XR lessons. It just guarantees a consistent, high-quality experience everywhere.
So the aha moment is that the timeline is no longer dictated by complexity. If building the environment isn't the bottleneck anymore, any piece of knowledge can be delivered in its own customized virtual space.
Yeah, the barrier is gone.
And that need for speed, for responsiveness, that leads us right into the soft skills training updates. This is an area where any kind of delay is just killer.
Oh, absolutely. Soft skills training like negotiation or leadership, it lives or dies on believable real-time dialogue. If you ask the AI a question and it takes 3 seconds to think,
The illusion is shattered. The training value is gone.
it's gone. That's why the sources are calling this the most significant update yet to their soft skills area.
So let's break that down. On the surface level, they've improved the user experience.
Right, just getting into a lesson is smoother. The 360 environments are on from the start. Role selection is clearer. It's about cutting out that initial friction so you can jump right into this scenario.
But the real leap is technical. It's about speed.
Yeah.
The sources specifically say the speed is dramatically improved using Responses API and GPT-5 Nano.
And we should pause on that on GPT-5 Nano.
Right. Why Nano?
Because nano models are engineered specifically for low latency, for speed. You don't want a huge, lumbering AI for a real-time conversation. You want something light and incredibly fast. The Responses API just makes sure that the AI's answer gets back to the user almost instantly.
It's the engine that makes it feel real.
It's the engine for psychological realism. So when you're in that tough conversation with an AI avatar, maybe a customer complaint that's escalating.
You need it to react like a person would in fractions of a second.
Exactly. And that speed has to be matched by stability. You can't have it freezing up.
Which is another thing they focused on. The sources mentioned reliability fixes, better UX flow with waiting indicators, and getting rid of those session freezing bugs.
Yeah, nothing would be worse than having a session freeze right when you're about to deliver the key line in a negotiation role play. It just kills the whole thing.
So it's about delivering a more natural, stable environment. That stability turns it from a cool tech demo into a really robust enterprise-grade tool for complex training.
It builds trust in the platform, which is essential for that kind of high-stakes communication training.
Okay, so let's pull back the curtain a bit and look at the core engine behind all this. The AI and the back-end performance that's making all this speed and automation possible.
Right, because the precision that drives the campus automation and the soft skill speed, it's not just one big AI, it's a bunch of specialized models working together.
And beyond the GPT models, they specifically highlight integrating Gemini 2.5 image.
Mm-hmm.
Now, why is an image model so important for an XR environment? It's not just text.
Well, XR is visual and it's spatial, right? So Gemini 2.5 image is a multimodal AI. It lets the platform actually recognize and analyze what it's seeing in the virtual space.
So, like, if a student points to a specific part of a 3D engine model.
Exactly. Or if the AI needs to visually confirm that you've completed a safety step correctly, like turning a specific valve in a simulation, it improves the AI's ability to give you real-time feedback on visual tasks.
Okay, that makes total sense. It's pairing conversational intelligence with visual intelligence. And on top of that, they've optimized the nuts and bolts.
Yeah, a faster backend, smarter resource handling. It's all about making it efficient. They also added new AI usage tracking, which is great for admins and educators to see how people are actually using the AI.
And it's not just the big engine changes. There are these smaller quality of life improvements that I think really matter for the immersive feel.
Oh, definitely.
Like the sources say the media box, where you see visuals and documents, is now 20% larger.
Which might sound like a small thing, but when you're wearing a headset, that clarity makes a huge difference. It reduces eye strain, it reduces cognitive load, even things like better spacing for annotations. It all just makes the information easier to absorb.
My favorite one is the streamlined audio. No more repeated intro audio when you start a 3D lesson.
Yes. That kind of little thing prevents the whole experience from feeling clunky or amateur.
It's a sign of maturity, right? It feels less like a tech novelty and more like a polished professional tool. Every little glitch they remove helps you stay immersed in the actual learning.
Absolutely.
Okay, so to wrap this all up, let's talk about global reach. Because scaling this kind of knowledge worldwide depends on some really clever AI translation.
Yeah, you can't scale globally if your localization is poor quality, especially with technical content. They've introduced a brand new Greek language environment.
And they built it using what they call next-generation smart AI translation.
And that phrase, smart AI translation, is key. The sources explain that this isn't just a literal word-for-word translation, it's context-aware.
So it avoids those
Yeah.
classic disastrous mistranslations you see.
Right. My favorite example is a term like toggle switch. A literal translation might give you the word for a light switch on your wall at home. But a smart, context-aware AI knows it's inside a technical platform and gives you the correct term for an electrical component.
So the AI understands the context of the feature it's translating.
Exactly. And that means you can deploy new, high-quality languages way faster. It breaks down barriers in technical fields where that kind of precision is everything.
And they've also gone back and improved existing languages. A big upgrade to Arabic, fixes for missing Hindi translations. It shows a real commitment to making sure that localized experience is just as good as the core one.
Which it has to be.
So let's try to synthesize all this to sum it up. We've got this radical automation that can build a virtual campus from a single document.
Huge one.
We have lightning-fast soft skills training powered by specialized AIs like GPT-5 Nano.
Super responsive.
We've got that simplified, unified access for the user, and then this global scalability because of smart, context-aware AI translation.
I mean, when you put it all together, what this release really is the removal of bottlenecks. All the things that used to slow down the creation and deployment of immersive learning.
Right.
So for you, the learner, it means you're moving towards platforms that can adapt to your needs instantly. You don't have to wait for someone to build a course anymore. You just feed the knowledge in and the immersive environment is ready.
The focus has shifted entirely to speed and access.
Speed, reliability, and democratization.
You know, the part that's most provocative for me is that pace of content creation. If AI can now really generate a full, structured virtual campus courses, quizzes, even oral interviews just from a single document, we have to ask a bigger question.
What's the new role of the human educator?
Exactly. What is their role in this new environment?
That's the challenge every single instructional designer is facing right now.
Right. Is the future of teaching no longer about building the experience, which takes months, but about curating the absolute best input document? Does the job become being a master curator of high-quality specialized knowledge that you then feed to the AI?
It forces you to be a subject matter expert and a quality controller above all else. Your value is in the source, not the construction.
It absolutely does.
Yeah.
And that is something profound for all of us to think about as we watch these AI learning ecosystems just continue to grow.